I think.
And I hate to say self-hatred. Sorry. I was ashamed of myself. That's a better way to say it.
There should be more shame. There should be more shame. Like if you've amassed $100 million from sucking the last remaining lifeblood out of some manufacturing company in the Midwest, calling it private equity, like you should hate yourself a little bit. You know what I mean? And there's none of that. And I think that's part of the problem. There's not enough guilt among the ruling class. There's no sense of obligation to people beneath them. And that's one of the reasons they hate them so much. And that's one of the reasons that the fentanyl crisis has not even been acknowledged by Washington, is because they kind of know they're responsible for it. Mm-hmm. And you wind up hating the people you've wronged, I have noticed.
Like, what do you mean that you might wind up hating?
If you commit a sin against somebody, if you're cruel to somebody, unfair to somebody, you cheat somebody, you wind up hating that person as a way of justifying what you did. And the only way to stop that is by admitting what you did and saying it out loud to the person's face and asking for his forgiveness.
Right. It feels like our concerns don't even fucking matter anymore.
They don't matter.
That's why it makes me wonder, are we just a shell company for Israel? Are we just a shell company for China? Like, what are we anymore? Like, are we just...
Well, there are a lot of people who live here who really like it here, who were born here.
I love it here.
Well, I know you do. And I'm just saying, like, it doesn't have to be this way. There are hundreds of millions of people whose ancestors are buried here and they want to stay here. They don't have another passport. And it wouldn't be hard to rally them and just say, like, you're a Democrat, you're a Republican, you're this, you're that, but we're all American, and let's have a conversation about what's best for our country. You would get people from all sides being like, that's right, that's the right conversation. We may not even agree, but that's the conversation we should be having. And if you don't do that, I'm just telling you, you play with fire. People go crazy. And I'm totally convinced that the mass shootings we're seeing and the massive spike in mental illness that we're seeing, which is leading to the mass shootings, these are manifestations of the frustration, the hopelessness that people feel when they realize their leaders don't care about them. I believe that. I can't prove it, but I believe it because I happen to live in a place with a lot of, people who are not kind of succeeding in the modern world. And they're good people and they have skills and they've been here, their families have been here for hundreds of years. We should care about them. But that doesn't mean that you can't say, if I've got $1 billion and I need 10 more, you're sick, actually. If that's your goal, what would you do with $1 billion? I mean, I don't want $1 billion. Not that I'm in danger of getting it, but if I was, I'd be like, I don't want that, because then you spend your whole life worrying about losing it. And your existence becomes about preserving money when your existence should be about loving the people around you and creating something beautiful. Those are your jobs as a person, in my opinion. Ugly. In fact, it's a sin to worship money.
Yeah.
It is. You should not be worshiping money. Worship God, worship people around you, worship nature even. But worshiping money is disgusting, and we should not compliment people who do it. We should instead criticize them and say, that's gross. Hey, hedge fund manager, that's gross.